I'm going to be here skating and looking pretty.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Do we have audio? Okay, cool. Well, everybody, it would not be a player hater gaming stream if we did not have some slight technical difficulty. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, we all get to laugh and have fun. So let's Ricka reverse and kick it off from a fresh start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Player Hater Gaming. My name is Brandon Ross. I am your host and game master for tonight's episode of Tales of the Skytorn. But before we dig into these lovely stories and get to know this great crew, let's knock out some announcements. If you haven't done so, do us a huge favor. Head over to our link tree where you can find all of our social links and all the places where we drop our content. And do us a huge favor. Give us some follows. Give us some likes. And in fact, if you're feeling frisky, even give us some comments, because it lets us know when we do a great job versus a boring job. And we want to make sure we always bring fun, incredible stories to all of our lovely fans. If you want to have a little more direct interaction with us, you are more than welcome to head over to the Player Hater Gaming Discord. We can come, share memes, talk live, toss around some D&D ideas, play some D&D here and there, and in general, just have a great fun time. But if you're looking for a place that is heavily focused on playing D&D over a text-based West Marches server, I'm going to pass it off to Mav Hunter to talk more about that server we have.
Yes, so you have, as they say, encountered us and have no idea what the hell we're doing half the time and wondering how the hell to join us. Meet us in Ishirma. We'll tell you how to play. We will teach you what it means to look at a D4 and wonder how much it could really hurt you. And it can, trust me. But let's say you want to be like Brandon, sit in that chair, tell the story, watch as everybody else goes, why are you doing this to me? And yet still come back to the table every week or every other week or once a month, however you want to do it. We'll teach you there as well. Enjoy, have fun, and, just keep coming back for more.
That's right. Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it. Aside from that, I have some more announcements to give to you. We'll knock out one right now, then the other one is best when there's a visual. If you want to be a part of this story, if you want to have the ability to influence parts of it, you are more than welcome to do so by spending your channel points to pull from the deck of situations. Nobody joined me on it. Thanks.
Nope.
But that is a way you can interact with the story. You spend channel points for that. I will go grab from my list what happens, and when it happens, I will let you know, especially if it was a card that was pulled by you. I keep a track of who pulled what when, so it'll be interesting. But the other one, again, is best used when there is a visual aid, which actually we have one right now. I'm not used to this. If you look in the top corner of all my players' lovely little chat windows, you will see the shape of a D4. If that number does not say 3, do them a favor. Spend some channel points. Help them out. Give them some guidance from the chat to use on just about any D20 roll they want. And that's all my announcements for now. But trust me, more will be coming in the few weeks we have coming forward. But until then, let's get into the story. Let's have some fun. Let's go play some D&D, guys.
I can't wait.
In the year 208 PT, a world once grounded by tradition and mystery was forever altered. The events leading to the tearing and uprooting of the lands have faded into legend, leaving us with a mystifying era known only as post-Torn. Player Hater Gaming welcomes you to the realm of Ulthana, where our journey takes us high above the clouds, into a realm of wonder and peril, a world composed of dozens of floating islands, each a unique culture unto itself, safe from the dangers lurking below. In this world of soaring islands and untold mysteries, danger lurks in every corner. Heroes and adventurers are born out of necessity, for the unknown has a way of finding its way into even the most tranquil of places. Meet our heroes who will shape the destiny of the Skytorn realm. Dracix, the unlikely but unyielding paladin, a beacon of virtue and strength. Red, the talented sorceress, wielding the elements with unmatched prowess. Eva, the warlock, possesses supernatural prowess, fueled by a pact of unknown origin and intent. Lovikazan, the indomitable barbarian, a force of nature and raw power. And lastly, the Doctor, the masterful wizard, unlocking the secrets of the arcane with every incantation. These 5 souls, each with their own path, will converge in a tale of adventure, wonder, and intrigue. Join them as they explore uncharted territories and uncover the secrets of this realm. Welcome to Tales of the Skytorn.
We live?
We are live.
Play
Wow.
D&D. Okay, so.
Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap.
Last session, the crew, to include all their new members, were finally able to see the fruits of all the labor, the gold spent, the time waited for their new and improved ship. Within the main housing floor area. Walls have been removed, walls have been rebuilt, stairs rebuilt, and quite a few more beds have been put into place and made way for. Despite the fact they didn't quite have the old storage space they had, they still had enough to be able to make some totally
Minor
legitimate
modifications.
runs.
Look, most of our
After-
cargo has been people, so
What was that?
said most of our cargo has been people anyways. We're
True, yeah. But having confronted Count Vosswood, surviving the encounter, dealing with other various sources seeming to come after the party, but ultimately leaving this island with a victory, they begin to forge one of the items sent to them through a vision, earned by death. And so we move our compass. We set forth. Currently, it is a lazy 11 o'clock in the morning. The star-crossed entropy is about 200 meters in opening from this island. The current heading, as communicated, the first mate, is Villantos. So, as each of you are able to, probably for the first time in a while, despite being landlocked, are able to take a long, long breath. And as you exhale, there's probably a few stressors that go with it. The crew in its entirety is moving about the ship, handling things. The main of you not having to do anything. For the first time, Zahn, you're not running around frantic trying to get all the knots tied. Dracix isn't giving directions while also dealing with other things himself. Doctor isn't having to try his best to finesse through a knot. Eva isn't having to get flailed about while holding on to one of the sails, because I'm sure you weigh like 90 pounds soaking wet.
I have spider
About.
climb. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
So, as the crew moves around, handling things, most Dracix, honestly, you give some direction here and there, just so they can get used to the ship. But I would imagine the experience given, for the most part, it's just you start to say something, you already see something moving towards it.
It's a there's a there's I probably
as you're,
just
doing,
puts
as you're
his-
doing this, very, very subtly, but with like his telltale, like his charisma coming back, his mindset better, no longer being trapped underneath. You feel a playful like shoulder on your left hand side as Galen steps up and just Captain. This guy gives a little smile.
his tail just like gently but with enough force kind of like whacks up in the back of the head. Just because he knows like what he's doing, he's just like, okay, I get it. But definitely looks over and just goes, yes.
Well, you pay what you get for, and I don't know how you afforded it, but they seem pretty stout and solid.
It's a little bit of telling them what I need, giving them what they want, and also having somebody that can breathe fire, that can just turn into flames behind me in the process. So, it works.
That is true. She's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he kind of like takes his hand and gives a slight nudge to the helm. See our heading to set. My
Mhm.
calculations, 2.5, 3 10-day.
Yeah, roughly. That's what I thought too.
Well, I'm going to settle in for the long haul, as they say. And he like just saunters off.
Just remember not to let the child trip you up.
He just
And I
gives,
feel like
a
that-
over the shoulder like wave.
And I feel like at the same time, like she just appears like right next to him, and just like hi, out of nowhere, just appears.
I don't know where Red would be. She'll be joining us later, so I'm just going to put her somewhere. I guess probably just like watching over. Actually, you know what? I think I know where she'd be. If I had to guess, she would actually be at the back of the ship watching the island disappear.
That is a very good guess.
Yeah. At the same time,
I kinda
wondering
know my- I kinda
how
know my
much
way.
fire could I use to make it go up in flames.
That too.
But yeah, definitely setting the coin down on the map in order to make sure that we're going in the right direction, and kind of keeping an eye on it, and gently, occasionally, just turning the helm a little bit as we go through.
So where are we going to Volantis again? Eva's like completely zoned out on everything right now.
Oh yeah, Eva doesn't know what happened. He looks at her and just goes, well, I was speaking to Red one morning when she decided that Sleep and me were not going to be on the best of terms. And I was drinking some coffee when that, and he points to the coin, dropped into my glass. So it clearly looks as if somebody wants us there. And there's only one person that we know of from there who also knows us that could get this to us relatively, and he now says this with quotes, safely, as we know what happened the last time, which was sheer luck. So we're just going to go and check on our wayward friend and make sure that he's fine. And then I'll
Got
probably...
all of that from a coin in your glass?
Yes, pretty much.
I thought magic was weird to begin with.
It ruined my coffee. So when we get to him, I will also smack him for ruining my coffee.
No, you just tell him to go buy you one. And then tell him what your coffee is, because he won't fucking know.
It's true.
True. Can I still slap him afterwards?
Yes.
Isn't he a political figure on the island?
And?
Eva puts
If
a
we're behind closed doors, no one will know.
Yeah, am
Eva
I...
puts a hand on Doc's shoulder. She's like, We've seen this one get slapped around already. You might hurt him too much.
Look, you nearly stabbed the man the first time you met him.
And we didn't. Therefore, he kind of is on track for getting slapped at least.
Fine.
No? Okay.
I will poke him very
Sternly.
hard in the shoulder.
Leave a little bruise. A little
Tiniest
shock.
of bruises.
Yeah.
He did look a little wimpy. It probably will break something if I just tap him hard enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he made an indent in the ship, so he's sturdier than most.
That is true.
That is also true.
As like he says that, Drac, I imagine your eyes pan over to the like
Yes.
5x5 freshly replaced planks that don't match the rest of it.
Yes. And there is this like a light twitch to the tip of the tail in the memory of that. It's just like my ship was barely fresh. So yeah.
DM, what would we know about Volantis?
Well, there is obviously general public knowledge of this, kind of like, the other kingdoms or countries, as, in the real world, as we know, we have general knowledge of them, but we'll see if anybody has any specific knowledge. Everyone is welcome to give me a history check.
God damn it.
I'm going to pull from my conversations with the man when he was on board our ship.
Hey!
Goose
Oh,
egg 20.
All right. Drac.
I got a 14.
Eva.
Natural 20 for a total
Nice.
of 20 because I have a goose egg.
Levikazan.
That'd be a 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Doc.
12.
Alright then. So, in general knowledge, this the island of Atlantos is mostly known for their non-skyship oriented businesses, craftsmen, artisans, and enchanters. Basically, it's where you go if you don't want to go into the business or any area of cloud ships. It's not super hoity-toity how certain places of Wingata are, but it's a strong academy island. There's jobs outside of the course, but it is known for its kind of elevated levels of magic and the arcane. Eva, specifically, you have heard stories about this place, and you know that it's one of the islands to where there is the strongest amount of like 1-to-1 ratio of what we call in our world electricity and those kinds of things, technology, to magic. Like, you've heard stories that, most homes have these incredible metal boxes that are always cold, or they have wood stove ovens that don't require wood. They have these little places on their walls to where you can tap it and turn on the light. Things like that.
So they're heavy into the weave tech department.
Heavy.
Got it. All right. City of magic and technology. Could possibly go wrong.
What could go wrong?
Knowing us, everything.
Everything.
Like, Doc's going to do a lot of talking for the party.
Mhm.
I feel like Doc's gonna be in their libraries for the entire time, just trying to absorb as much as he can before he has to leave.
Yeah.
You want to buy a second book?
I mean, yeah, I probably will have to.
More like
honestly.
15.
Or a
More like
second
15,
journal?
let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Look, if they're going to have a different archive than Wingata did, so the amount of information might be better.
Mm-hmm.
Might be.
When we're about 500 meters away from the island, and there's no other ships in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
At this point is when he kind of gets like the crew together and just goes, well, before
and I
we
will say real quick, Galen
Uh-huh.
did kind of like get your attention, like, hey, it's down below.
he's like, okay. Which I also got to remember where exactly we had to deliver that to, but I figured that's for later on.
I just want to make sure you knew it was on there before I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, no, I knew it was on there because Galen was going to drop it off. Don't have to worry about it. So looking at the crew, he's going to, well, the rest of us, and he kind of points to everybody else, like the rest of the Curse crew, have a, I guess you could say, tradition. How do you think about it? Of having a skeletal cleaner on the crew. Don't be worried. He is ours. He does tend to. He will take care of you all as well as like do mundane things that Doctor will tell him to do. So we just wanted to make you aware of it before we brought him out and brought him in a form back.
If it makes any of you feel better, he's not a former crew member. He is a criminal.
You slowly watch as a female gnome like slowly raises her hand.
And he kind of like points over and just goes, yes. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's okay.
Can I watch? Do
Of course,
cats and stuff?
We wanted to make you all
And
aware.
You start
and
getting like a better look at this individual. She's got like a pair of thick goggles up here. She has like arcane tools. You immediately pin her out as your artificer and rune master.
he actually looks at everyone and goes, this is for you all to know about. And if you would like to come up and watch, you can. Once again, you will be seeing them as well as any others in the future. So rather you know this now instead of later waking up and just like, what the hell?
I can maintain at least 3 at a time. So that would be the maximum you ever see on ship at this current moment. But I don't make a habit of collecting them. So you should, don't worry about that.
What he says now, just wait.
We only replace them when they unfortunately do not make it past any fights. That is the rule. We have one typically.
Most individuals are kind of like nodding. No one seems to be like disgusted or against it. Everybody's just.
But,
Yeah.
but
It's a courtesy thing at this point.
Yeah, it's
for
a
us.
courtesy thing, you know? He just wants to make sure of the fact that nobody freaks out later.
Doc will begin unjengaing Bob 2.0 from the bag of holding.
We definitely got to come with a better naming scheme.
The female
Bob's-
like walks up to you, Doc,
Mhm.
like ready, just like smiling, like
He is already active as he's as Doc begins pulling him out.
she just watches like wide-eyed.
Drac will just help, like, reassemble the body. It's just like, where did the femur go? Where did this one go? Is this a tibia? Is it not?
And I'll make him reanimate, stand at attention.
You watch as the female gnome doesn't pull out a spell book, but pulls out like a spell notepad, like the flip kind, like the old school flip kind, and she just starts taking notes as you're talking and chanting. That's necromancy, right?
Yes.
Oh, fascinating. I don't ever get to see it much.
No, I've only met someone who theorized about necromancy. I don't believe he practiced it.
Oh. No harm here. It's just magic, right? She just keeps
What?
writing.
As long as it's properly used, yes.
Well, it's like all things. I mean, sure, I could go over there to that room right there and make one little note. Whole thing goes up, but why would I do that? Then I drown.
Exactly. Though some have a bit more of a...
She says that
moral
way too
discomfort.
matter-of-factly.
Doc used to read.
Slowly turns and looks, and he probably knows exactly what she's talking about. Not the exact like way it's supposed to look, but he probably knows like yeah, there's at least 15 runes that you can do that to. And he's just like, please don't.
Doc, offhandedly, I would imagine you've noticed our cannon has at least one extra rune slot. I have been meaning to add a necromancy effect to it. You should assist me.
I would love to. If you can handle the necromancy part, I can handle the rest of it.
Of course.
Right. Now?
Might as well. What should we have our skeleton cleaner do today? Just swap the decks for today? Swap the decks and maintain guard. Everyone on board is friendly. Anyone coming aboard from now on will be considered hostile unless stated otherwise, is the ongoing command.
And with an 18 intelligence check, skeleton then takes off and takes a moment, just stares at everybody for like 5 seconds, nods his head, and then goes about his business.
This one's at least smarter than the last.
After about like 5 minutes, you can see him coming up with like a bucket and a mop.
I will never get used to that. So quick to work. So grateful. Anyway, moving on.
As we head into the day's travel, someone roll a d10.
I'll do the first one. Just because, really, at this point. Because why not? That's a 10. The fact that he's taking so long to look at it is worrisome.
Please hold.
You must consult the charts.
I must consult the lore.
Or Roro.
He's consulting the lore and then the star charts and then the cloud charts to see where we're all.
No, I need to make sure I have this deity's name ready.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, what?
As the hours go by.
Yes.
So, for today, I will take some liberties with getting certain people in certain places.
How could you?
I know. She'll need to be up here.
Uh-oh.
Doc, I'm gonna drag you up there too.
Yep.
I'm trying to find music, and it's not going
There.
well.
That's okay.
It's alright, it decided to go the way of your webcam.
Thanks, bud.
Damn.
Not me going to order a new webcam right now. It's fine.
Right now.
Right fucking now.
Okay. Oof. So, Doc, you would be the first to see this because the person on lookout rolled a natural 1. As you are
It's
up
not
there,
evil?
it's not Eva.
Damn.
As you are at the front of the ship, Doc, working with an individual who has identified herself as Antha. She is your resident artificer and rune master galore for all things to keep this ship floating magically. But as you're up there working and trying to figure out how you're going to enchant this device, this arcane cannon, out of the corner of your eye, Doc, you have maybe, I'm talking 30 seconds or less to react. You see what looks to be this kind of half fallen over section of a stone, like a corner tower from like a castle. And you just see the top like 20, 30 feet beginning to rise up out of the cloud ocean.
Doc would shout back to Dragix.
Tick, 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 tick,
A tower rising front.
tick, 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 tick.
The
tick,
port, stern, which side?
Doc would say which side it is.
Jack immediately
Player-
turns the wheel in the other direction.
Player cannot remember port from stern, so
Okay.
It's
I'm not
starboard.
gonna fault you.
starboard. Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
Drakic should
So-
give the order. Hard turn the rudder. Some individuals quickly run to the sails, and they kind of grab the ropes on each side to kind of shift how the wind is being picked up to help assist. Go ahead and make me a vehicle check.
All right. Ship steering. Not me currently deciding if I need a D4 on this or not. Screw it. I will burn that D4.
Okay.
Very safe and sorry.
That is a dirty 20.
20 total. Nice. As you get the order, you grab the helm just as you also kind of look, you can see, oh, this is bad. And you turn, you shout orders. 2 of your crew members quickly come up out of nowhere, grab the ropes on each of the side of the sails, and help shift the way it's being picked through the ship. And you narrowly, like, you can almost see, like, you think you're going to hit it. You're like, I wasn't fast enough. I'm going to hit it. And then you just watch as it barely, this stone tower skims past the entire right side of the ship. And it is towering over the ship as it has risen further out of the clouds.
Drac is going to loop us around and park us next to it. As I'm pretty sure him and Galen are thinking the same exact thing. Treasure hunt. Treasure.
Money, money, money.
All right, then. You give the order for a full stop. Everybody, they get the sails furled up.
Mhm.
I will say, Zahn, one of the individuals comes over to you, like, taps you on the arms. Could you come with me?
Yep. Sure can.
Thanks. And he brings you over to where there is a bit of rope that has been hastily tied to, like, a very heavy, like, crate.
Uh-huh.
He just kind of looks to the island that's, like, at this point maybe like 10, 20 feet away. He looks at the crate, looks to you, looks at the rope that's already tied.
There's a
Could you,
grin.
could
Is
you,
that even a question? Yes.
I think they used to call these anchors when we had real water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drac just like looks over, says like, "Wait!" And there's an immovable rod tied to a rope. That is the ship's anchor already.
And you see the crew member's face just like
He just
impressed.
like
so is Zahn. She's like, oh, I don't get to throw it.
he
Great.
just goes like, "You can still throw that over, as we could use that to cross over onto the island."
The crew member just smiles, looks to
Okay.
Zahn.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
You grab
Who's
one
not
side, he
gonna
grabs
take away
the
their
other.
fun?
Yeah.
But he does like walk down and like shows him like where the release and catch is for the actual anchor, just so that way he knows going forward.
Yeah, you watch as the tiefling has walked over and just kind of takes the rod, sets the timer, and then very slyly just drops it off the other side.
Yes.
Let's see here. Probably be Elias is going to help you just chuck this makeshift physical actual anchor off the side. So go ahead and make a strength check with advantage.
Fuck yeah. Da, 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 da. Ooh. Oh, I rolled an 18 and a 19 for
Oh,
24.
shit. The 24, the two of you. 1, 2, 3, and huck it.
Does
And
Elias accidentally like also go with it a little bit because it's on? And so he hits the railing.
He advances like go in time.
Song grabs back of his
It's like-
shirt. Sorry.
It's like one of those things where like
Okay. And you
you
watch
gotta
as the
launch it.
Yeah.
Thud. The crate does not break.
Ah, yeah. What did you put in that crate? Did you put somebody in that crate?
Grant even looks over. He's like, "What?"
I don't know. Put somebody.
No, I
else.
would never.
Sun narrows her.
depends. I might.
I gotta pee. He just leaves.
Well, who's going over first?
Doc comes over, looks at the tower. Is there a spot we can go stand?
So at this point, you're unsure why, but the tower itself is what appears to be a basically like a corner section of what was at one time a much larger stone building, and this whatever section of island this is has risen to the surface temporarily, permanently. Maybe it's on some sort of fixed movement pattern. It's hard to say.
From
Is
our
it tilted?
It is tilted.
from our turn around it, could Doc see if the battlements have like a doorway to into the tower?
You, with the way it's kind of like tilting, have you guys gone to the other side of the tilt, or are you on the tilt side?
We would have kind of like gone around it and come back to this point.
Okay, so as the ship made its circle, go ahead
Yeah.
and make that perception check. Perception check,
Okay.
Doctor.
Leading tower, piece of this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 13.
The 13.
You have a D4. You have a D4. You
I'm
have.
not going to D4 that one.
That's fine.
That's fair.
It was not very difficult to see it. You did see what looks to be that there is overgrowth, but you kind of saw to where you can see where it's like sticking to stonework and where it hasn't grown quite as thick to presumably a doorway. It's in the right spot.
Here's the entrance place right over there. I can go over. Zon, do you want to come with me?
I was just gonna jump over, but
Drax already like sliding down the rope.
Well, if I don't take anyone with me, I'll just use my single person teleport.
You all just hear a as Drax slowly goes down.
Galen kind of walks over, arms crossed. Man, I wanted to go.
too
You
bad.
just hear in the background, throw him over. It's fine.
Son looks
You
over
look
to him.
on. No. Someone
Uh,
needs to stay on the ship.
We have crew now. Ready?
Red is
Ready?
staying on the
Who's going
ship.
to
Ready?
lead them?
Once again, Red
Somebody
is
is-
staying on the ship.
Yeah, Red. She's fine. She's totally Captain like.
He was first mate
That,
for a bit.
He kind of looks to you, looks at the rope, and he tries to dive past you. Zon.
Son's gonna grab him.
Okay, make your grapple check.
Oh. Oh, that fell off the table.
Oh,
They're in their fiasco. Doc's just vortex warped over.
what's your modifier?
+9.
You've got a chance. Okay.
Okay. Math. 23.
Doesn't quite make it 29.
Damn.
He slips past you and basically tightrope runs down the rope as it has been pulled taut at this point.
Show off.
He just smiles, and as you notice for a quick second, both his hands are drawn, and he's got double birds as he balances himself.
Mm-hmm. Evie, you coming?
How close to the structure are we?
I would say you're probably the structure itself. You're about 60 feet, but from land to where the crate was thrown, you're about 25-ish feet.
There's up my -1 strength modifier.
If you
She
catch Doc
will-
before he teleports, he can teleport both of us.
Technically, not even that. You have spider climb. You could
Well,
just run along the rope.
Yeah, that would be her other option. She was gonna try and, like, aerial jump and just spider onto the side of the building, but it's too far, so she'll just run across.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a acrobatics check.
I'm good at those. Never mind.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
I'm good at those. Never mind.
Can
No.
Doc see it? Can Doc see this?
Drax
Can
see
we
All
this?
watch as Tasha watches Galen do this. Is like, I can do that. And she gets down from the post, jumps up on the ledge, doesn't see where there's a bit of kind of a slick area here where someone has swabbed the deck a little too well,
Oh no.
and you slip. And as you fall, you try to grab the rope or the ledge, and you just keep falling.
Do
Doc
we see her?
vortex warps
Yes.
her.
Okay, you vortex warp her.
Yeah, to be next to him.
Eva, you feel the grasp of magic encircling you. Do you resist it?
Give me 1 second. Nope.
Okay.
Had to decide if that was friend or foe.
Then
Do
she
you
would.
resist it?
No, she would not resist it.
Okay.
She's familiar with the magic. She would understand
Okay.
its Doc.
You, as you're falling, you like, well, there goes my life. And all these things I've survived. And then your world goes whoosh, dark for half a second. And then you fall like an inch onto solid ground. Soft, mossy, dirt ground.
Just gives a thumbs up to Doc.
Just the Terminator thumbs up. Just
Yep.
Doc will shout out to the rest. She's safe.
Zon's just
Good,
looking over
thanks.
the edge. Looks up. Oh, okay. Thank God. Right.
Red would be
Doc-
so mad if that's how I died.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
She's not even here for it.
She would have jumped off the ship with her wings, to be fair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she would have. Like,
Like, if Doc didn't catch you, she was going to.
Yeah.
I know.
But,
Drac would have too.
mhm. Doc would help Eva stand up.
Don's gonna be
Thanks.
much more careful about this.
make an acrobatics check.
She
Doc
okay.
gets
Can
ready
I
for another crack.
propose?
Do you want to muscle over it?
She's doing that army crawl, like legs cross over, just letting gravity
So
pull
where
her
you're
down.
gonna lay on the rope and
Like underneath
over
it,
here.
yeah,
or you're gonna swing under.
yeah.
Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm.
Make an athletics check.
Oh yeah. Where's my dice?
Just
Okay.
have it in your hand.
Okay. 19.
No issue.
Awesome.
So Drakic is across, Galen's across, Doc's across, Eva's across, Zon's across. Red's watching a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And Cass.
Okay. That's
Cass
all
is
of you
also
are
wearing the
across.
captain's hat. Because Drac would not have brought it with him for this.
As you step onto the island, you watch as if almost the whatever force is keeping it shrouded in cloud and mist begins to dissipate in about a 30-foot area around you. Realize this chunk of land is much larger than what it seemed. But with that, we're going to take our first short break. We're going to go run a quick 5-minute break, run some ads. This way, those of you that are with us during these storytelling times don't get cut off in the middle of an ad break. So we're going to run that, then we'll be back. Go ahead. I'm also hungry. I'm going to grab like a cheese stick or something. Because remember, if you're playing D&D, you're eating snacks.
I may, now that I'm not on camera tonight, be eating many snacks.
Which is only fair.
Exactly. The one good thing about not being on camera is snacks whenever you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know that rule. I just eat.
Yeah. There are days.
Like I'm doing right now.
Yes, well, y'all entertain the stream. I'm gonna go get dinner.
Vortex Warp still is the best investment I've ever made.
Mm-hmm. No,
Got
I
that.
completely agree with that.
I got it because I got picked it up at when I first got into second level, I believe, spells, and it's consistently proven it is useful.
Yes. It has saved our asses many a time.
And
Okay,
saved
I haven't paid my tithe to the dice god.
clearly that one did not go well for
Mhm.
tonight.
Shit. Oh, there
That
it
was
is.
a +7 in acrobatics.
Aha! Oh gosh. Okay. I've made it back.
Also, why I invested in teleport spells. I don't have to deal with dexterity checks like that because I know I'm going to fail them.
I actually have a good dex. It's just most of the time I don't get to use it.
I just find it funny because I have a terrible strength and I do very well on the strength checks, but I have a +1 to dex, so I should do okay at dex, and I do terrible at dex.
Because whenever you're trying to do strength,
hard
Zon's right there in
about-
view, so you're just trying to make it like just
You know,
trying to
you're
show
not
off.
you're not actually wrong with that. Cause I think I thought about this. Every time Doc has had to make an athletics check of some sort or strength check related thing, Doc has been doing it in front of Zon every single time.
The best
I
part
feel
about having a drink koozie is I don't have to worry about trying to cover any labels, and no one gets fake sponsorships.
I feel like Doc is just in that spot where he's trying to not be... Like, he's basically trying to show off to his girlfriend by not needing her.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't need no muscle mommy.
I don't know. If he keeps going this way, I might argue Doc needs to go to at least a 10 in strength.
In all honesty, at some point.
Like, after so many good
class
tips.
to muscle wizard.
Look, I see how broken that wizard that spell book is. Sure, I will go in there and just break your game.
No, I'm gonna make you one that's based off of God, what's that character from Fullmetal Alchemist? Armstrong.
Oh god.
Yeah, Armstrong, the best.
Elric Brothers.
Oh shit!
I feel like that would have been our equivalent of Sir Roland. Would have just been
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
Today's snacks are brought to you by Adult Lunchables. Salami, cheddar cheese, and mozzarella cheese, string cheese.
What was that about not being sponsored?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's no brand names in that. So I don't know about you guys.
Technically,
sure
Lunchables is a
Lunchables-
Lunchables is a brand name.
That's true. Brought to you by Adult Snacks.
There you go.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a savage. I don't pull these things apart. I just
Yeah. No. Same.
Yeah.
eat them.
Yeah, same.
Depends on the mood.
Yeah. I gotta agree. It's like usually I'll just bite into it, but if I'm like just want to take like the slow bites out of it, then I will shred them apart.
I mean, I'll usually just bake them into bread.
That's it.
Get some crescent rolls, roll them up.
It's a pretty solid idea.
No, you never done that before?
No,
You can make-
I've done it with Nutella and peanut butter. It's
If
really
you get little pepperoni slices, you can add pepperoni in it. Like wrap that with cheese and pepperoni and then roll it all up into the crescent roll.
Make a sausage roll.
Effectively, yeah. But it's a little pizza. And you can have marinara sauce to dip in.
one of the other games that I'm in that happens on Saturdays. And that's all I'm going to say. If you know who that is, you know who that is. If you don't, well, you should figure it out. But the biggest joke about that game is that I will not show up unless there's snacks.
You know, I believe it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I haven't met that entire table. I believe it.
Uh-huh. There's a bowl in front of just Brandon's chair.
Right.
Here's your bribe for being here. So
Dude, if you
enjoy.
watch those guys, you'll see I'm always snacking.
Mm-hmm.
Nom, nom, nom,
Especially
nom.
'cause I'm not. I snack when I'm in the DM chair. I'm definitely gonna snack when I'm a player.
Oh, fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
There will be snacks
All
on
right.
Tuesday as well.
Ah,
Rah!
you've all made it to the island. The mist is seeming to dissipate with your presence. There is where you're at is basically like a corner of what
Mhm.
was probably like a courtyard outlay of a larger keep. The tower itself is maybe only like 30 feet tall from ground to edge.
Yeah.
The entire island seems to be a bit off skew. But for the time, just to assure you as players, it does seem stable. It does seem to be, it's moving, but it's not sinking.
First question. Was there being a person in the crate just a bit, or was it legit?
You do hear
Yeah.
Zon goes and opens it.
inside is a halfling male. Kind of looks at you. Oh, hi.
Hi. You okay?
Is he
Yep.
a crew member?
Great. Oh yeah, he's a crew member.
Okay.
Rin?
Yep. This is one of your helmsmen you haven't seen.
Do you want to go back on the ship?
Drax just like looks over and is like,
Yes, please.
"Who did you piss off now?"
I may have insinuated, allegedly, that someone was less than above board, supposedly, during a friendly game of 5-card draw.
You accused one of them of cheating, found out the fact that they weren't cheating, and then your punishment was being thrown into the box and must be thrown on as an anchor. Got it.
He looks to the ground. Can I please go back on the ship?
I got you. And Doc will vortex warp him back onto the ship.
Drax just like yells back. Just make sure the fact that the ship stays next to the island the entire time.
He gets up, but you can still barely see the top of his head. You see him wave.
Yep. Well then. For treasure? And Dragon already is walking away, probably almost like shoulder to shoulder with Galen, but they're both like walking in step and just humming like treasure.
So you got some choices here. Are you going
Uh-huh.
to investigate a way to get inside, or are you going
Yes.
to investigate the open area that is currently slowly expanding as the mist clears around you?
Drac is going to look for a way inside, as he's pretty sure Doc is going to be like, "What's this open area we're in?" And therefore not.
Okay.
I was going to look for like identifications, like who owned this castle, what regiment, if there was a regiment here, or if it's more recent.
You don't see any identifying marks. I'll save you that roll, but you
Okay.
do kind of look around. You give it a good look. Don't see anything in the immediate area to kind of give like, hey, this tower belonged to family such and such, or was dedicated to
Mhm.
such deity. Drakix, as you walk over, you can see where some of the moss has grown, and you can see where it is a bit thinner in one of the areas, roughly about 3 feet wide, 6 feet tall, doorway sized.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more like 4 feet wide.
He's gonna take one of the javelins that he has
Mhm.
and just use that to kind of like cut away.
Yep.
Just to make sure, like through the center of it, that it opens and it is an opening. Or if it's just a hole in the wall.
Okay. You are able to cut away, and you do find basically like a proper doorway. It doesn't look like it's been like smashed into, destroyed. It was built purposefully.
On the door, and he just looks at Galen, just like, all right, let's try to open this thing. And before we really open the door,
Mhm.
we're going to check for traps. And
Are
he's
you
going to
doing
tell
that,
Galen
or
to
is-
also look for traps.
Okay. Who's actually looking now?
That would be investigation, right?
Yes.
I'm going to give it to Galen because I'm pretty sure he has a positive to that because I have a goose egg.
It's almost like his previous employment and legend leans towards this as his thing.
Yes. Why else do you think I keep him around?
He looks at the door. It's a fairly rotted wooden and metal door. And he kind of sees it, checks the handle. Well, it's not trapped. That's the good news. The bad news is I think it might be rusted shut. Strong woman.
I have a name, but yes.
Well, I know you have a name. I just can't think of it right now.
Zon?
It's
Ah.
it's literally
Ah.
simpler than okay, whatever. Hi.
Well, there's a lot of you, and I've spent a long time below the cloud ocean. Pardon me.
You've been on a
You're
show.
forgiven.
It's no,
It's fine.
you-
No, hold on. He is
This-
forgiven to
Ah.
forget because he doesn't realize that you could use him as a battering ram.
Very true. Shall I use you as a battering ram?
Miss Zahn,
Thank you.
if you would.
Absolutely.
He kind of looks over the various the hinges. Well, the door opens towards us, so
Song gets out the celestial cleaver.
Yeah, but to say maybe we try our new axe.
I'd say go for the hinges, but that's just me.
Jack would also tell her to go for the hinges.
And he steps away rapidly.
Good idea. To confirm,
Mhm.
is this a plus whatever weapon? Like a +1 or plus something weapon? Because if so, I have not added that into the coding.
Trying to remember.
It doesn't say in the notes for it.
We may not have also gotten that info.
No, it was not mentioned in the info.
Yeah, we got the damage it does, but we did not
Yeah.
get the if it's a +1, 2, 3 to hit.
It is not a plus weapon. It is magical,
Okay.
but it's not a plus weapon.
Noted. She'll still use it. She will still take it. Big ass great axe and go for the middle hinge, hoping that, it's enough. Actually, she's going to rage.
Okay.
Get that anger out about Galen. I am so glad that I raged. That's nat 1.
That you raged or went reckless?
I didn't say reckless.
Didn't say it.
I didn't say it. I'll reroll that because
You raged, but you didn't go reckless.
That's fine. Still
The
good.
first one was a test swing. The first one was
Yeah,
a test
it
swing.
was. It
you
was
know?
a
It was
test.
just-
It was a test swing. Yeah. That would be 22 to hit.
Roll your damage.
12. And where are my sixes? There are my sixes. So, 11.
Okay.
Oh, plus 5, so 16. No, not plus 5.
Plus strength.
On damage?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
plus 5.
Yeah.
One.
So
yeah,
16.
Plus
Yes.
5, plus your
I-
rage
yeah.
bonus.
Ugh,
Yeah, rage bonus.
doing regular things is math.
What numbers did you get on the
9,
dice?
10, 16, 19. 19 for the maths.
Okay. Where are you aiming?
I was aiming for like the hinges.
You missed.
Ah. Bitch. She's gonna shake it out and she's gonna reckless attack this time.
At this point, Galen stops you. Wait a minute.
What? What?
And he walks over to the door, just puts his index finger on it, and pushes it down. You cleaved cleanly right through where the hinges hit.
Oh Jesus. Oh. I like this axe.
As you should. I think you should keep it.
I think I should do. After you.
He takes a half a step and stops, and then looks around. Okay, it's safe.
Track walks behind him. just to like yoink him in like the last moments, if anything.
Okay. He leads you inside.
Don't let the others go
Upon
first.
heading inside, you are immediately met with a spiral staircase that leads both up and down.
Track immediately looks over to the other two. Treasure's usually below. But do you want to go upstairs first?
You never know
Galen's
where we can be
already going
found.
downstairs.
Never mind, we're just gonna follow him. And Track immediately goes behind. Oh. Do the other two follow, or are we splitting the party in half? Or
Trying to think. A player wouldn't have knowledge of how these towers are designed, but not Doc, because like, he's not aware of like battlements and structures and stuff like that. So
listen, Drac is just thinking treasure, gold, the like, usually put into a hidey hole, and that's usually underground. Bless you.
yeah, Doc's thinking like lost information,
Yeah,
which could be just as valuable sometimes.
Excuse me, goodness.
you're okay.
So
That could be upstairs.
yeah, so I was thinking like in the living quarters area, if there is one.
So we could
Well, this
split
is-
the party.
Yeah, but we'll say this is just a corner tower.
Yeah.
So we have a piece of a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
We'll
to
eventually
play-
get to the main castle.
Yeah, I'm trying to play into players' knowledge of castle layouts. So I don't think Doc would have that information. So Doc would just defer to the group, I guess.
Well, be better to stick together.
I agree.
He heads down.
Mm-hmm.
makes probably about 2 full rotations around this shape before it ends. And there is just darkness, obviously, already, unless someone's gotten a torch or a light source out.
If we want one, I can make one.
Probably. Zon probably. Oh, wait. Nope. Doesn't have that anymore. Yes.
I can use elementalism, beckon fire to make a cloud of harmless embers to light torches, candles, or lamps in the area.
I also just have a light cantrip. We can make it easy.
Works for
The
me.
javelin is still in Drank's hand, so
I mean,
cantrip.
I have the we all have goggles of night, so up to you
For
guys if you
some
want
that
them.
have night vision, correct.
He was gonna touch Drac, and Drac is the light. 20 feet bright, 20 feet dim.
Drak just like looks down. It's just like, and he's now in like the new armor too.
Galen turns back. You see, I told you always had a bright personality.
You're lucky I like you. You're so lucky I like you.
Don't worry, Jack. It's just let your inner self shine.
That usually gets us into trouble.
He has a
Well-
point on that one.
Fair.
He kind of like grabs you by the shoulders a bit, Drakix, and moves you into the doorway.
Yeah.
And it is just a tunnel that heads inland.
I guess I'm going forward. And Drak uses the javelin as a walking stick. It's in front of him. And he just like taps everywhere occasionally. So this way there is enough. It's technically like an extra 5 feet because he's barely holding the end of it. Just to give him enough space in case of whatever. He's just like tapping along slowly. He's like, we are not going to be caught by anything here.
You're moving forward, make an investigation check.
All right. That's a 14.
The 14, as
Uh-huh.
you're moving, you tink, 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 tink.
And he's gonna stop. He's gonna lean down. What is it?
You have hit what looks to be a section of the stonework for the path that gave a higher pitched, almost like it was a hollow when you tapped it.
He's going to gently, ever so gingerly, pry this stone.
Okay.
And he's doing this slowly, so the moment that he hears any kind of click or pressure, he's stopping.
Are you
And then he's
using-
immediately
do you
telling
have
Galen
thieves-
to take a
do you
look.
have thieves' tools.
Actually, I think I have some. Do I? Yes, I do actually have some on hand.
Make a thieves'
And
tools
I am
check.
proficient in them,
Make a thieves' tools check
which is just a regular dexterity check, right?
with your proficiency bonus.
I already have it. Never mind. Alrighty. That is a 27. I'm sorry, 25. Forgive me, 25.
Yeah, easily. Like you go to pry it up, and then like your instinct kicks in, like this is a trap, and you kind of reach back, grab your roll up bag, and roll out the thieves' tools. Start clicking through it. You get the stone off safely, and you can see the mechanism beneath it. It's a very simple pressure plate that looks like it just leads to some taut strings to various other. You can't see where they lead, but you can see they're coming into it. So you're like, all right then, and you just very cautiously pull the tension, cut it, and then very slowly release it. And in the walls, you hear like a disarming, like a deep like click. You feel confident whatever was about to assault you, your party, or happen has been disarmed.
He immediately just turns to Galen. All right, keep an eye out for traps, please.
Oh no, you're doing a great job.
I know that right now, but I also want you to keep an eye out for traps as well. Stop me from stepping on any in case I miss it.
Okay.
And once again, back to holding the javelin at arm's length and going through.
I imagine Doc is giving them like a good 15-foot berth.
Yeah, probably. Just within the light.
least.
But enough.
As you are moving further down the tunnel, after about 5 feet, you do see the telltale sign of pre-drilled holes in the sides of the wall. And you imagine, oh, that's where we would have got skewered.
Great.
Yeah. We're fine. And once again, ting, 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 going along.
You don't find anything in the rest of the hallway.
Mhm.
You travel about 50 feet down this tunnel before the doorway ends. And with you being the source of light, you can see it begins to open up.
Okay.
Not natural, still shaped.
Okay. We're gonna go to the opening.
You get to the opening, and you notice the threshold itself is of a different type of stone. Most of the stone has been here so far because you do have light, so you have color. Has been a simple, like gray, very common slate stone. The stone at the threshold is shaped and carved obsidian.
Okay. Okay. He's going to make note of that and let everybody know. And then he's going to look down at the ground before stepping over, just to make sure there's no tripwire or anything in front of him.
You do not see a tripwire or anything in front of you.
He's going to step inside.
Stepping
And-
inside, you as the source of light, it opens up to the whole area. You can see there are probably about 4 main pillars that is keeping this place from collapsing on itself. It doesn't look destitute or disrepaired, oddly enough. There is vegetation that has overgrown here, but not as heavily as upstairs, obviously. There is a central, it looks to be almost like an antechamber, or like a better word might be like stone gazebo. In the
Okay.
middle, probably about 30 feet around. The ceiling here is a solid 20 feet up.
He going to look at Galen. No touching until we're sure it's clean. And starts walking towards the gazebo.
Okay.
Still being
How close do
careful.
you get?
10 feet away from you.
Okay, when you hit 15 feet,
Mm-hmm.
torches of Everlight light the entire area.
Trying to size. All right.
And in the middle, you can see within the skinnier, like almost poles of stone that make up this stone gazebo, in the middle of it is this bowl. And within the bowl, you watch as this sphere of basically like compressed wind begins to take shape. It's not windy in here like heavy hurricane winds, but just through some magical means, wind is made visible in this circular shape within the center of the bowl.
Okay. I'm
Crazy.
going to ask this question for 2 of us.
Okay.
Galen and Drac.
Mhm.
Due to their history, their jobs, their professions, have they heard stories of this?
Make a religion check.
Okay. Okay. That's a 15.
Okay. You have heard stories of similar altars. Typically, they were to deities of worship, but this one, an exact name escapes you.
He calls out to Doc and everybody and just tells them to come close and lets them know about that little tidbit, hoping that maybe it'll jog something within their craniums to get an answer.
Doc will take a look at the altar and see if there's anything he would recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Son takes a peek.
All right. Hilo, what are you up to?
I was actually gonna do the same thing as Doc.
Okay.
He just beat me to it.
That's good. Everyone just give me a perception check. Excuse
Alright.
me, the three of you. You've had your chance, Trakix.
That's fine.
Fucking leave it to Doc.
I agree.
Yeah. I got a 16.
Nice.
Nice.
It's not terrible.
It's not.
No.
So, Doc and Leviticus, you both do find kind of placed one over the threshold you just walked through, but on the other side, you can only see it if you're walking into the tunnel. And then you do find it on the other 3 tunnels that lead into here, along with over each kind of archway that leads into the stone gazebo. You see a kind of depiction of a swirling, almost like an elegant tornado with these intricate patterns. Levikazon, you can't quite place what deed this belongs to. You know, it's not. You get a sense it's not nefarious. It's not one of like the deities of like, you know, murder, death, all that.
Yeah.
The bad side of death. Doc, you are able to identify this as a symbol for Zephyrus, also known as the Whirling Gale. They are a deity of wind, controlling the currents that move the floating islands through the skies. But they are a lesser deity, so they're not incredibly well known.
So we stumble into a temple of Zephyrus.
So once he says that, Drakix, you can almost kind of like beat yourself up, like, I should have noticed that symbol.
Yeah. He was more in tune with floating ball, nothing else. Because not gonna lie, his first thought was, oh, we can use this to get us places faster. But he's definitely gonna look back. He's like, how do you think we'll get this? Because this would be one hell of a travel boon. Thoughts?
You
Doc,
asked nicely.
you don't
That is
just
fair.
It is rather rude to take from a deity, lesser or greater.
Sorry, my inner treasure hoard was showed its ugly head. Forgive me.
Trust. Well, I mean, given how we know how powerful some of these gods can be, it's probably best not to piss them off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rather not. He's going to do a circuit around the gazebo, not stepping into it, and try to see if there's anything else of note on the exterior walls. Maybe a plaque or something else with some writing on it, just to give like a better understanding
find
of.
something.
Okay.
As you're walking around, you notice there seems to be just a little bit of light that's coming from an unknown source. And as you get to this wall, as you are the light, you can see kind of affixed to the wall, but probably about 5 feet from end to end, is a large sundial
Mm-hmm.
that's been affixed to the wall. But you can see before you got there, it had some light to it. So you kind of look around, and then eventually just you look up, and because of the radius of the light you emit, you can see there is placed in the ceiling a carved out section of stone that is currently overgrown. Looking at the sundial, however, you can see that it has gears to it. And there is a sapphire gem within the middle of it.
You're giving me an
Currently,
Abu moment.
as you're looking at it, you can see it is wherever it stopped, stuck, broken, whatever the case may be, it is at it's kind of at this symbol of the sun going down. It's at twilight.
Drac is going to mention this to the party,
Mm-hmm.
and then looks at them all and just goes, since I'm currently lit up, and this looks to be pointing to twilight, you guys have cloaks just that I can just kind of cover myself with real quick to see if I could limit how much light to try to get this.
Yeah, Zon pulls off her cloak and hands it over to him.
Then he's just going to almost like wrap it around and try to limit as much light just to give enough
Cocoon yourself.
for the yeah.
As you cocoon yourself in this cloak, because it is a bit larger than what you would need.
Mm-hmm.
There is no change.
I think we have to wait until it's the right time for it to work.
He opens enough for the light to come through. Once again, he kind of like angles it just to make it where the shadow hits that notch. And if need be, he will go up into the sky to do this too.
Okay. You pop your wings.
He will pop his wings.
Pop your wings. You head up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you move to the stone where the cutout area is?
He would, and try to, once again, open up like enough of a flap for the light to come out and angle himself. Like he slowly starts to turn himself in the air. He does this just to make sure that the light hits it just right.
Okay. There is no discernible change.
Okay. At this point, he's just going to turn around and use the javelin and just slice right through the overgrown plants.
Okay. Are you going to carve the whole thing out?
Yeah, he's going to carve it all out.
As you carve it and hit it, eventually you hit enough section to where kind of some dirt and foliage hits you in the face, but some sunlight does come through. And you begin to hear you clear the rest of it, and as you move your body out of the way, you can see there's sunlight is hitting directly onto that sapphire. It has begun to slowly hum with light and power.
He's going to go down to the party and just goes, I couldn't help it. I'm so sorry in advance. Forgive me.
Oh, no. Okay. Maybe it's a good thing.
While he was doing all that, Doc was trying to examine the wind orb to see what its purpose is.
As he's doing that, I was going to give this to you. Its purpose just seems to be mostly enchantment, is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
But as he does this, you notice that on the bowl, what you thought was this odd iconography, a stone shape rotates up and then stands upright. You can see it is a very rudimentary depiction of a winged individual facing to the middle of the sphere. As you kind of look around the shapes a bit, you can see there are two other similar looking stone figurines that are still kind of upside down.
You said there was two more paths? Like 3 paths in total. One we came down, and there was 2 more.
Correct.
Doc will look down those paths and look to the rest of the group. I imagine we want to activate all of it, the mechanism, and he'll gesture to the other 2 paths. Perhaps the rest of the mechanism is located down here. There seems to be 2 more statues that need to be activated.
Drac is going to come down to the ground and just look over to them. It's like, who wants to go where?
Well, just go down. Doc would choose at random one tunnel. We can go down this one.
We should all stick together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Drac is going to hand back the cloak
Oh, thanks.
and he's just going to tappity tap tap his way through just to make sure we don't accidentally hit any traps on the way.
This hallway is much shorter. It's only about 20 feet before it just goes to steps that lead up. You do not find any traps, and you are welcome to attempt to head to the surface.
So, do we go up or do we go down the other path first?
Hard to say.
I
If
mean,
we want to check
flip-
other. Go ahead.
I would say just flip your coin.
Drac does have a coin. And he will take it out and screw it. I will flip a d4. Odds his head, and we just continue going forward. Even his turn around, take the other path.
Okay.
We're going ahead.
Okay. As you head up, as is per typical, it's overgrown, so you just clear it out, no problem. Heading up, as you head up, you watch as the mist, as before, as you get closer, it pushes away from you and clears the way. Heading to the surface, you find yourself in what looks to be probably the courtyard proper. There is severely overgrown rose bushes, vegetation, flowers. There is, unfortunately, some skeletal remains. And also what catches your attention, though, seems to be like a main fountain that is no longer working.
Sunlight below. Maybe something with the fountain? And Drac is going to slowly walk over towards the fountain.
Walking over the fountain, you see that there is no centerpiece to this fountain. Instead, there is 4 statues that are all facing in.
Where are the statues up?
They are statues of winged individuals wearing robes and hoods. Their faces are distinctly left just blank, but they do have wings and are robed.
Maybe there's something in the area, guys. We can take a look to see before we start touching things.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Who's going to check out where?
Doc will go check over where the skeleton remains are. See if there's anything to do with what we're trying to activate there.
Son
Alright.
is checking the fountain.
Okay. Eva, Trakix.
Drac is going to check more of the vegetation.
Okay.
Using the javelin to kind of like poke around. If he hears like anything stone-like or metallic, he'll clear it out and see what's there. Or if he finds any holes, he's also going to clear it out, thinking that it may just reflect down.
Eva's on Overwatch.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I need Trakix, Levikazan, and Doctor to give me investigation checks.
To Eva, this is very creepy and very unnatural. Her cleric senses are
Wow.
tingling.
No, we did not.
We did.
Whoa!
Did you as well?
Yeah.
Everybody at once. What did you roll for investigation?
19.
19.
Well done. Trakix, you don't find anything amiss in the vegetation.
Okay.
It's just overgrown. You'd probably find a skeleton, but nothing nefarious about it. Just someone died here. Fortunate. A lot of bad things happened in the calamity.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, the individual you find is most certainly dead. They have around their neck a simple chain with another similar kind of metal iconography of that tornado. They are in, at one time, robes, but they have since deteriorated.
I would say small prayer. Doc would say a small prayer in Celestial. Just one of the random ones he knows, but he'll take the necklace from the individual.
Okay. Vikazan. Roll a d4.
Oh no. 4. I'm gonna
4.
die. Yep.
The west is the first one you check out.
Yes.
On the outside of the fountain, basically it would be its back is to you, and at its feet you notice it's sitting on what looks to be its own separate disc. You can see there is a definite separation between this disc and where the fountain disc is, what it sits on. Beneath that is a plaque. Written in common, it says, "I gather dusk with silent grace, the final breath in twilight's face."
Frickin' riddles.
Yep. I was trying to type that real fast.
I was gonna say, can you repeat that one more time?
Nope,
Cool.
but I can put it in chat.
Thank you.
For the guests and our audience, I will say it again, of course. I gather dusk with silent grace, the final breath in twilight's face.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Oh. What do the others have to say?
Which
Or
one do you go
are
to next?
We'll go counterclockwise to south.
It says, "The fire wind rises, fierce and bright. I crackle with the storm's delight."
Okay. East.
Where sun is born and mornings break, I follow in the sky bird's wake.
Yeah, did not get that. Yep. Copy that.
I imagine you're going to go north as well.
Yeah.
From frozen breath, the first step lies, where howling gales sing lullabies.
Interesting. Guys, I'm not smart enough for this. I need help.
Here, Doc would go over.
Drac would also go over. And as we figure this out, I guess we should bring on in our last party member.
Yeah.
Yay!
We can throw these at her and see what she says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let her figure it out.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
Come hither, Miss Red.
Join us. Join
us.
us.
One of us.
I will send you to Jesus.
There it is.
Damn.
Hello there, Red.
Hi.
How are
Hello.
you doing? It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you.
You must be rated R. I'm just kidding. There was no.
Yeah, can we
rated R
change
yet.
the stream to 18+ now? Because she's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I thought that was automatic.
I was gonna say,
It
I'm
is.
pretty
I'm
sure
just
we're
making a joke.
always 18 plus.
We're especially 18 plus when I'm here.
Especially.
Very
We're just-
true.
We're just uncontrollable. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's
So, Red,
fine. Yeah, what's up?
We got some riddles
As-
for you.
the day has
Oh,
passed.
sweet. Uh-huh.
And you've been left to ensure the child is safe, as the rest of your compatriots have gone onto an island that just rose out of nowhere. Smaller
Oh.
island, presumably so.
Oh.
You've waited. It's been 10, 20, 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And you kind of look over to one of the crew members. I'm going in there. And you step onto the side, and I imagine you would probably use your broom to fly
She does not
inward.
have that yet.
You did
We
get
Do
it.
I
haven't handed
not?
over.
No,
We have not
I-
handed it
No.
to you
I
yet.
No, I
have not
could've
given it.
sworn that we
No, okay,
ended-
no, hold on. I got it. I have not given it to her yet.
Okay, all right. So, how far away is this island thing then?
So there is a rope you can use to cross.
Uh-huh.
Land is 20 feet. Structure is 50, 60 feet.
Okay. And it's just like horizontal movement.
You would need to make an athletics or acrobatics check to get over the rope, but yes.
Cool. So we're gonna try not to waste the wings yet.
Okay.
And you said athletics or acrobatics. Got it.
Correct.
Cool. So
You
it'll
wanna
never
nibble
be
this or-
athletics ever in life, and we're
I figured as
re-rolling
much.
that. That's better. 21.
With a 21, you
Uh-huh.
are able to kind of wait for a moment because the ship does sway a bit as the island is
Uh-huh.
also moving and kind of dragging the ship with it. Not in
Uh-huh.
like you don't hear damage to the ship way, but just
Right.
the island's moving, the ship's going with it.
Cool,
You
cool.
wait for the rope to, you kind of watch it for a moment. You see the pattern. You wait for the moment when the rope is taut as it can be, and you just run across it.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't fall like Eva.
Yeah.
Wait, Eva has sticky feet. How did she fall?
Oh yeah.
That
Because
one.
She rolled
Apparently,
very
I'm not
low.
allowed to use sticky feet.
Oh, okay.
Because
The
fun things
hell?
happens when you roll that low. That's why.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, if you rolled a
Your
2,
sticky
she probably
feet
wouldn't
fail
fine.
you.
But you rolled a 1.
Oh, poor Eva. Okay, all right, cool. So I'm on this island. What's up?
You're on the island.
You definitely see a hole.
Kind of knowing how you work, you do see kind of where they probably could have gone in.
Uh-huh.
But as you notice, as you've been here, the mist is moving away from you, like purposefully clearing itself in a certain radius outside of your vision. So it's like as you move, it is clearing. So I
Oh,
imagine you just
sweet.
head inland.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
As you do so, you begin to hear
Uh-huh.
voices.
Oh, cool. Do I recognize these voices?
You do recognize the voices.
Okay, all right.
You
Excellent.
can hear them. They appear to be discussing something as you heard Leviticus kind of call out, "Guys, I'm not smart enough for this." And that's the loudest thing she said. So of course you heard that and can hone in on where to go.
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yep.
You
Mhm.
head towards the group.
Right. So we need someone intelligent, and the doctor isn't enough.
Zahn just like
All of
quickly
you
turns.
hear this voice.
How? You were right. Okay.
Yeah. Don't ask questions. Just what is going on?
Riddles.
I waited forever. Oh, that explains it.
Forever is 30
It's
minutes.
been forever.
Uh-huh.
Right.
God,
Riddles.
Understood. Not letting her stay out that long. Okay.
No.
I got bored.
Clearly. So
Do you like riddles?
Right. Hit me with it.
Doc is just not getting to read riddles.
Jesus.
There you go.
There who go. What are you talking about? Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Let's see.
West, I believe west would just be horizon.
Hmm?
Like, that sounds right to me.
The disc.
Drac is gonna go over to the east one. Does it look like the statue can be moved? Or turned or anything of the sort?
Leviathan?
I was gonna do the same.
Okay.
Just gonna try and turn it.
Okay. As you're looking at this, Leviathan just walks up, goof, starts turning it.
Yep.
Which one do you turn?
Oh,
Drac is going to turn east. And, well, he's going to turn it in the direction of the rising sun.
Okay. So it gets turned. You were looking at it. Leviathan is the one that walked over to actually turn it. So
Yeah,
Zahn,
he's gonna
you turn
kind of
it
take it.
180?
Yeah. He's going to tell her to move it that way, so, yeah.
Okay.
she'll move it that
Turn
way.
it 180 degrees, and you do hear it click into place.
Whoa. Stays quiet for a second.
Mhm.
Once I hear it click, well, then I guess this one would be facing west then. At the west statue.
Okay,
Can he
so
move it on his own, or?
You
Yeah,
can,
sure.
No,
I'll try it.
Doctor cannot.
okay, so wait, which one did we turn first?
East.
So we turned east to look west.
East. No.
East.
East has turned east. So
Oh, okay.
currently, all the statues are looking in.
Oh,
So
okay.
technically, east is looking west, and they're looking in the opposite direction. So now we're turning them outwards.
Yes. Okay. So yes, west goes to west.
Do you turn west?
Yep.
As you turn west, east turns back
Oh
and faces.
no.
Okay. That's fine. It tells us the fact that this has to be done in order. So Drac is going to move east back to the way it is.
Okay. Oh, it resets itself.
Yeah. After it's done resetting, he turns it back around. So he hears the click.
Okay.
And then he's going to look up to north and south. And as I go look to see which one is which, he is going to go south
Okay.
and turn that one.
Yes. Yeah.
As you turn south, east also turns to reset itself to look in the middle.
Oh.
So it's
What if east
north.
isn't first?
East would make most sense to be first.
Not necessarily.
No, from Frozen Breath, the first step lies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
North, east, southwest.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Try it. Yeah.
Especially because west says, I gather, dusk, which is the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, let's try northeast, southwest.
So he looks to Zahn to let her take north. He
Yep.
goes back to east.
Okay. You turn north,
Yep.
clicks into place.
Okay.
I turn east.
It clicks into place. North does not move.
Oh.
I go down to south.
Okay.
I turn that.
Clicks
Song
into place.
goes to west and is like, okay, I feel like y'all should clear out of the fountain just in case.
Drac goes to the group.
Mm-hmm.
This way we're all, and he makes sure that they're covered and stays within 10 feet of Zahn as a precaution.
Okay. Zahn turns west.
You turn west, clicks into place, and you hear this weird, like, groaning from beneath the fountain. Like,
Oh, Zahn gets out of the fountain.
Zahn, what did you eat today?
and you start to hear, and you watch as from the center of the fountain, little splashes of water come up. And over the course of time, eventually there's a solid, clean flow of water.
Just had to turn the power back on.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
as soon as you said east wasn't the first one, I went, never eat soggy waffles.
That's yours? Mine's never eat shredded wheat.
Never eat soggy waffles. That's a standard for America, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all honesty, mine was just news. Northeast, west, south.
Yep.
Nope.
Would you eat soggy waffles? No. So
No.
never eat
No.
soggy waffles.
Never eat soggy waffles.
Listen, that's not the way. But anyway,
Get in the comments. What's
It
your
works.
Northeast, Southwest acronyms?
yeah, listen, it works. I ain't gonna argue.
Tell us what you use.
Drac is going to take a small circuit around this courtyard to see if there's any other paths.
There is no discernible exit from here aside from the way you came or just walking back to the ship.
Okay. So he's going to look to the other side. Well, let's go check downstairs and see if there's any change.
All right.
And back down the tunnel we go.
Drac's still
Downstairs.
We'll show you. Don't worry.
As you are led downstairs, Fred,
Uh-huh.
you are led into a stairwell that leads straight down, probably about 20 feet. And then a hallway that's about 30 feet long that opens up into a large chamber. In the middle of this chamber is a stone gazebo structure. In the middle of that is this stone bowl basin that has
Orb.
an illusory effect
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
wind gathering in a singular kind of spherical shape.
Drac is going to look over. Is there a difference?
Does anybody else look?
Doc will look
Yee.
because he knows what's supposed to change.
Red has no idea what's going on. So
Doc,
she's just gonna look.
Doc, you kind of point out the fact that once there was no smaller statues on the ring of the bowl that were upright, and now there are two.
Because we left with one up. Now there's two up. So he's like, okay. And he's going to take them to the other tunnel that we have not explored yet.
Okay.
And as we're going through, he does tell Red the fact that apparently is a small altar to Zephyrus, and curiosity has taken hold, and we are trying to figure out what these little things are.
As you head to the threshold,
Mm-hmm.
on the left side, hanging from a piece of silver thread, is a 1 foot long, 2 foot long wind chime.
Mm-hmm. Drac checks the opening with Galen. So Galen's going to get advantage to make sure there's no other traps.
There's no traps.
Okay, I want to be sure. I want to make sure. This feels like a trap. He looking down the tunnel. What does he see? Or I should say, looking through the opening, what does he see?
You see more hallway.
Okay.
Is Drac still nice and bright?
It lasts for an hour, so.
Oh, then, yeah, you're good. But as you're walking through there, we're going to go ahead and pause there for a moment to take our big break. We're actually going to go onto our Be Right Back screen, get some snacks, use our restroom, and run some ads. So we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
everybody.
Mm.
We are
Hey,
so
everybody.
sorry
Welcome back from our lovely little
for
break.
those of
We
you
hope-
who will encounter things later on down the road at
on
events.
the road. That announcement will come later. It's a little
Later.
That's a
premature right
different
now.
kind of tax
Mhm.
too.
But
Mhm.
we're back from our break. We went and got snacks. I hope you went and got snacks. So let's dig right back into it. As you are looking at the threshold, Drakix, off to the left side of it, hanging from a simple silver thread, is a 2-foot long wind chime.
Is it connected to anything else that I could see?
No, it just looks like the thread is just basically held by like one of those simple like eye hooks to the that left side of the threshold.
Hit it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Just a little tap. Little tap.
I can just make a gust of
Blow on
wind.
it.
Drac is gonna look to Doc and be like, "Can you with wind, possibly, maybe?"
Sure.
Freezing.
I know.
I'll cast Elementalism and use Beckon Air.
Okay.
It's
As
the wind is
cast the
strong enough to
spell.
close and open doors.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
As you cast the spell, without striking against anything, it makes a sound as if it struck against something.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Did
sound
it
resonates
physically?
louder and louder and louder. And I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Everybody has a +5. You're all within
Brilliant
range.
idea was this?
You said it too.
I was being facetious. Shh. Why did it do it like
I'm
that?
changing my dice. This is impossible.
Mm.
Okay.
Drakix.
I did it wrong.
I got a 14.
Fail.
I forget
Oh
what.
dang. Okay.
Eva,
13.
fail. Levikazan,
27.
success.
Oh,
Red.
wait, +5.
Yeah.
That's
So it rolled at advantage because it did a con save for magic instead of whatever else. You want me to just use the first number?
That works for me. If it works for you.
Okay. That's 15.
From a nat 1
15. Success.
to nat
Okay.
1, though.
But it's a
And
15.
Doc,
17.
17. Success. My successes take
Mhm.
1 point of thunder damage.
Ooh.
My failures take 3 points of thunder damage. And the
We've had-
tone on this was despite its intensity, it was a soft bell tone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's not ominous at all.
Right.
No.
Drac looks back towards the gazebo. Does anything change there?
No.
Okay.
Has Red heard anything like this before?
You have not.
Okay, cool.
You said it looked like it hit something. Doc's gonna go up close to where it is and see if there's anything invisible around it.
Do you kind of like try to feel and check it out?
Yeah.
Your hand does brush against something near the wind chime.
Ah. Well, there seems to be something here.
For
Okay.
further investigation, make an investigation check.
26.
26, it's pretty easy to quickly identify that it's other wind chimes that are invisible. Basically, when
Oh.
you saw it move and hit something, that's what it moved and hit.
Doc looks to be very gentle with his touch as well, not to trigger it.
All right.
So, It would appear to be a chain reaction.
Lovely.
What about it?
And Drax is going to continue going down the hall, down the tunnel, and try to see what's on the other side.
Zahn will follow him.
As you're walking down, after about 10 feet, you pass by another wind chime hanging from a silver thread. This one looks to be about 1.5 feet long.
Mm-hmm. He makes a mental note of it, but continues going down the hall.
Okay. Eventually, you pass another one. This one is about 1.75 feet long.
Okay. So, just to make sure that I got it right, the first one was 2 feet.
Yes.
The second one was 1.5 feet.
Yes.
And the next was 1.75 feet.
No, I got my numbers mixed up. The third one was 1/2 foot.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes more sense.
Continue going down the hall until we see an exit.
After about 10 feet, you come across another one.
Uh-huh.
This one is 3/4 of a foot long.
So this is bigger than the one before it.
You head further down.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You come to another one that is about 1 1/4 foot long.
Okay.
You come to another one. It is 1 3/4 foot long.
Uh-huh.
And then you come to the end of the tunnel where there's one hanging that is 1/4 foot.
It's so tiny.
Okay. Is there any writing anywhere near this one?
At the end of it, there is a kind of a calligraphy styled writing.
Uh-huh.
It simply says, oh, where'd the name of this go? Within the whispering hallway, reach forth with the song of the sky.
Does the Song of the Sky make note of anything in our brains?
Eva, Red Doc.
Mm-hmm. Go by Galen.
No, he wasn't properly schooled. Dracus was raised on the Sky Ocean, so Eva, Red, and Doc, make history checks.
I'm just done today, apparently.
I'm adding a D4. Okay.
Eva,
Thick.
Red,
You're muted.
Am I? Hold
You
on.
were.
I do.
Now we hear you.
Now,
Yeah, we do.
11.
11. Doc,
18.
18. It's familiar to you, Doc. not as so much like a score piece or a full song. It's something much shorter.
Does he know the melody?
I don't think it's not an actual song. It's like based on the wording how Brandon said it. I think it's like a single note.
So we need to hit the combination of chimes to create that note, do you believe?
Probably. Based on the chain reaction of this, whichever chime you hit, there will be reverberations to make a different ending sound. The lengths of them do matter, I believe, because that would affect its.
So you're basically
tone.
trying to combine tones.
Yes.
It's a lock, essentially.
Hmm.
And you have to get the right combination of tones like you would get the right combination of tumbler.
Exactly.
Got it.
So- Do we know what the final tone should sound like?
I've never heard it myself.
How long is this hallway?
It would be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet.
30 feet?
The one at the very beginning was not the correct one, obviously.
Or at least not on its own.
Or at least not, or maybe not even just the correct starting one.
I feel like we would have to do them all at the same time to produce the tone
Okay.
together, but
Shrek is going to look to everybody and just go, can you guys just all go towards the original path that we came down? I'm going to try something that may or may not work. But I need
I
you
will
all
say
out of.
the order you have the lengths there is correct.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was double checking to make sure I described it correctly.
Yeah. Drac is going to go after he kind of like gently ushers them out of this tunnel.
Mhm.
He is going to go 10 feet from the back wall, kind of kneel down a little bit, and take almost a runner stance. And as he goes to push off, when he makes sure they're out of hearing range, at least hopefully, warding wind. It is a 10-foot radius centered on myself. 20-mile-an-hour wind blows around me. I'm deafened. Other creatures are deafened in this area. But I'm running down the hall in order to trigger every single one of the chimes
Okay.
at almost the same
How
time.
far away do you push the party?
Oh, he told him to go to the original path that we came down.
Do all of you go there?
Because he wouldn't start until he gave them about a good 5 minutes to make sure, even though that's probably giving away too much time.
yeah.
Yeah. Doc is be ready to come back and pick Drex off the floor.
Zahn has the sending stone out just in case.
Okay. You his effect. You dash
And
down.
bolting, yeah.
You hit all of them.
Mm-hmm. Because the moment it starts, it would have hit the one in the very back,
Mhm.
and then the one 5 feet behind me, the one next to me, and then 10 feet in front of me as well, and then vaulting down to hit the others. So it's almost we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them would get triggered at once, and then it's the other 3 which are triggered like almost 6 seconds afterwards. So there's a slight delay, but he does get them all at the same time, roughly.
Okay. So you are deafened.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, due to the nature of thunder, it doesn't have to be heard to be felt. Oh, that's how.
All right, I'll make that con save again.
Please do. But I will say
That's a 15.
it still wouldn't make. You have a success, so that's fine. You take 8 points of thunder damage as it just resonates through your body. You don't hear it. You're not sure if that's worse or better.
At this moment in time, he thinks it's better.
Boom, just hits you. And make a Constitution saving throw. Make a concentration check.
That's a 17.
You do not lose concentration on your spell.
Yeah, when he gets out, he's just going to drop it anyway.
Okay.
Because he doesn't need it for long. It's just to trigger them to see if that does it.
Okay. The rest of you are thankfully out of range, but you do hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It is this horrible cacophony of chimes.
Ooh. Should we?
Listen, he tried. He tried, okay?
Yeah.
Not gonna look to Eva. Eva, you were a bard by trade at one point. You're the most
Yes.
you were the most musically inclined individual here.
What you got?
Well, I'm not entirely sure on the combination, but I believe you can help me figure out which tones come from which chime.
True. However, keep in mind that the wrong tone, regardless of whether we're experimenting or not, is going to result in some damage.
I'm aware. It's not.
Okay.
I don't plan on testing everything. I'm just going to see if our expertise combined could figure it out.
I feel like we just need to know what the original tone is. We don't know that yet.
Jack looks to the gazebo. Is there any change? I highly doubt it, but still.
No.
Listen, it could have been. It could have been like.
Yeah, could
I
have.
could have.
Non-changing form was almost mocking you.
I know.
So,
I figured as much, but still, it didn't hurt to ask.
given the cacophony and the assumption that it probably didn't work because Drax isn't frantically yelling down the hallway at us,
I just find Drax sitting down on the ground, like about another 15 feet away from it, just pensively looking like.
is
I
there
hate
any?
puzzles.
Is there anything, any marking, any writing on or around the chimes themselves?
Oh yeah, is
No,
there like?
there is just at the
End of the tunnel.
end of the tunnel.
And what was that one saying again?
It says, "Here in the whispering hallway, sing forth the song of the sky."
Is there a religion check I can make for the worship of Zephyrus to see if that Song of the Sky is related to it? And if so, maybe if I know, could figure it out from that.
I'm gonna go with no because I've already asked for a check to decipher things earlier.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Is this our last puzzle? Or
He
was
doesn't
there
want to
another
answer that
hallway?
one.
We don't.
No, he said that there was only 3 entrances.
So the one we came through, the
The one we
water
came
one,
through, the one that led to the fountain,
Yeah.
and then this one.
and then this one. Okay, so yeah, okay.
So we hit the first chime on its own.
Mm-hmm.
First time as you are standing at the entrance to this tunnel and heading in, correct, yes.
Would Eva have knowledge of anything musically related to that chime? Either the note, the frequency, the vibration, anything. Being a bard, formerly.
Formerly being a bard, unfortunately some of that knowledge has been replaced, it seems.
Could always just try going from shortest to longest, or longest we already did first. So shortest to longest.
Doesn't
Or-
have to. Oh.
We could try things that add up to 4, hitting them at the same time. The riddle had the word fourth in it. Could be a play on words.
Could be. But is it like the most notes or like the least amount of notes or like why don't we start with the smallest to largest? Because it's like whisper. It said whisper as well. So I
Right.
don't know.
Smallest to largest.
Okay. I fucking hate this because this is fucking Destiny 2 underbelly shit.
He's thinking the same thing.
Look, I know how this. I can do that stuff in my sleep. What are you talking about?
So, everybody spread out. Go down the hallway, just spread out. I need one person at each end and
Yep.
2 of us in the middle.
I'll take the end.
Take a middle.
Take a middle.
I'll take the end, and he just stands right there next to the 2-foot one.
3.
And we have Galen too.
We don't
We do have
have a,
Galen.
There's not a 1-foot chime.
There is not.
That's interesting.
So, then would it be the 3/4 and the quarter?
We could try it.
Well, if you're willing to take the damage, I won't stop you. It's just something I noticed.
yeah.
This is gonna be the dumbest question ever. Do the chimes move at all?
The one moved when Doc cast that spell on it.
Like, it can't switch places with another chime, though, correct?
Correct. They appear to be fixed to
Okay.
the ceiling from the thread.
Just double checking.
Yeah.
Try and see if all of. So there's individual invisible chimes at the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they all the same length? Or are they different lengths?
All different lengths.
How many are at the first one? Could that be part of it?
I guess with the invisible chimes.
You would have
Right.
found 5 distinct invisible chimes, and the 6th one was the visible one.
Are there a different number of invisible chimes at each one? Did we check that?
We didn't look at the others like that. We only looked at the first one, I think, right?
This is the first one, and make the assumption that there is multiple, because that's how
Right.
the chain reaction would work.
Right, so perhaps there's a chime that has just that one, and then there's another chime that has one regular one and an invisible one, and then there's maybe another chime that has one regular one and two invisible ones. You see what I mean?
I see. Yeah. So, like, okay, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Let's check the chimes for that.
Okay.
Before we just go and give ourselves damage for no reason.
As you all awkwardly feel for invisible chimes.
I can please take the 10 minutes. I can just cast a spell to see all of it.
Sure. Do it.
Sure.
Okay.
Ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. Moment passes. Cast a spell. Your eyes open up into the arcane world.
30-foot radius. I'm just going to stand in the middle so I see all of it.
Alright. Looking at them, you can see all of them have 6 distinct sources of magic coming from them. 5 invisible and 1 in the center.
They all have the same amount of chimes next
You
to
do
each one.
notice the wall also has magic to it. Illusory magic.
I'm going to investigate that.
Okay. There seems to be somewhere on this wall some kind of illusory spell cast upon it.
So most illusories is a matter of beating a DC to see through it, or just outright dispelling it. I'll see if I can see through the illusion.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I wish I could reroll.
Oh my
That was
god.
terrible.
Unfortunately, you do not have the ability to pierce through whatever spell is here.
I'll let everyone else know that the wall has an illusion cast upon it, but I don't have the ability to dispel it.
Zon goes over at it, leans down, squints at it, nods. It's magic.
Is it a particular part of the wall, or is it all of the wall that has this
I
illusion
love
on it?
this character so much.
It's all of the wall, right, Brandon?
Correct.
Yeah.
You do not have the ability to hone in enough to discern if it's a certain section of it or if it's a specific spell. For you right now, it's just the wall.
Zon, as he describes it being the whole wall, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. Zon tries to walk through it.
Wow.
Listen,
Alright.
we all have, we
Yep.
all have to do some sometimes.
Here for it.
It's a wall. Magic wall.
Right.
Should I whisper sweet nothings to it, like it's the song of the sea?
Are you?
What do you whisper?
God damn it.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Hi, we're having a really tough time with this riddle. Could you give us the tone that you're trying to get us to achieve, please? We would appreciate the help.
What part of that is sweet nothings?
It didn't have to be sweet nothings. Zephyrus. She mentioned Zephyrus.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have ears. Okay.
Right. Okay, so are all the lengths of all the invisible ones the same?
Yeah.
They are same in correspondence to the one that is visible.
Okay.
So if you're at the 2-foot one, they're all 2 feet. If you're at the 3/4 one, they're all 3/4.
So there's literally nothing to tell these apart aside from the length of the visible one.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, I mean, there's no. Eva pointed out there's no one that has just a single foot, and there are two we can put together to equal a foot.
I mean,
Right.
there's multiple ways you could do that if you chose to. Since we're all taking
Mhm.
places on the hallway, we can hit the 75 and the 25, or
Yeah, I think that's what we do.
sure. Then
we-
whoever's at the end can hit the 25, and then whoever's the third person can hit the 125. Or, sorry, the 75.
75. Yeah.
Because words are hard.
Yeah. Words are hard.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Mm-hmm.
We know the
We-
75 is in the middle, so that's
Mhm.
the middle tone, and 25 is on the end.
Doc would hit the 75, and I believe Red was at the 25, right?
No, Zon was.
I was.
Zon.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
You can and hit those and see.
So which one do you hit?
The 70, the 3/4 and the 1/4.
Okay. What do you do to the 3/4?
Gust the wind from elementalism.
Okay. It moves, and the sound radiates outward.
Oh. Oh my god, it's Simon Says.
Is it?
It's Simon Says. We have to try. We have to do sequences. Okay.
What's the second one you hit?
25.
What do you hit it? What do you do?
She
She touches it with a finger.
No, she gently takes out she takes out a python and gently, ever so gently, taps it.
Okay. You tap it.
Yep.
It moves. No sound comes out.
Woo! Okay. Which one do you want to do next, you guys?
Maybe the sound didn't come out because you didn't use wind.
No, but Doc did.
He used wind and the sound came out.
Oh, a sound did come out. Fuck.
Right.
Zon blows on it. Ow! No!
Everyone make a Master saving throw.
All right.
Fucked
Who
up.
all?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Oh, okay. Ah, dang it.
I'm just nope.
No.
I
think
just
I'm
did
the-
not
I'm-
play D&D enough.
Drax is next to me, I believe.
Drac is at the 2 foot, so anybody within by the 1.5 or half foot
That'd
would
be
get the
me.
bonus.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Drakix.
I'll D4.
I got a 23.
Success. Eva.
5.
Failure.
Oh no!
Levikazan.
14.
Don't look at the
Failure.
backlog mix. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Red.
How much do I add? 4 or 5?
5.
It's a 31, sir.
Success. Doctor.
16.
Success. Those that fail take 7 points of thunder damage. Those that succeed
Nice.
take 3 points of thunder damage. And all sound stops, including the one that was first moved. It had been making a consistent, quiet, like repeating chung,
Okay, so that's the correct
chung.
first one.
Right.
Well, or it's just waiting for a secondary input.
That's what I'm saying. It's the correct note to start with.
Who's at the end of the wall?
Me.
Which end?
Zon.
Yeah.
The wall.
Zon is at the wall.
Zon.
Zon.
Yep.
Behind you, there's a flash
Yeah.
of magic.
Zon
A
turns.
flash of what?
you see below the original script in a faintly silver glowing writing. Begin with the whisper, then rise to the sky.
Guys, words.
Words that are in common.
Right, words that you can read. So what?
How do you... no. Begin with the whisper, then rise and rise to the sky. Basically, yep. So,
Right.
0.75 is clearly where we start.
And then we rise.
Except that doesn't make sense either, because there are numbers smaller than that. Unless you're talking about the shape of it as sound, which would
Maybe
go
we don't have
outwards
to hit
to
all
a
the
point of
chimes.
contact.
Hey, Brandon.
Hmm?
When Draco's going down the hallway,
Mhm.
besides the length being different, was the width the same for all these chimes?
No. As they reduced or got larger in their size, they were correspondingly smaller or thicker.
So the 0.75, was that thinner?
The 0.75 was thinner than the 2 foot.
Okay. And the
But all of them are.
quarter was the thinnest?
Thinnest.
Okay.
So if we did... Okay, let's just try going to the next highest, which would be 1.25. So do
Doc will just-
0.75 and then do
Doc-
1.25.
Doc would do, because Doc's closest to both of them, so he'll do both of them, starting with the 0.75.
You starting with the 3/4?
Yeah.
Okay. Ding, ting, ting,
And then the 1 foot 1/4.
ting. 1 foot 1/4.
Mhm.
Ting, 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 ting.
It said rise and rise, right?
Yep, so 1.5.
Ting, ting.
Yeah. Doc will walk down to 1.5 and to do elementalism and get all of them.
Go up to the half, 1.5.
Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting.
Oh,
Everyone make a
cool.
Constitution saving throw.
Lovely.
I see
get
it.
it.
God damn it.
Holy fuck, finally.
Yay!
We'll make this DC. The DC is 15.
No.
I think
Yep,
anyone got it.
mhm.
Failed this time.
Anybody fail?
Yep.
Oh, you did.
Everyone
Okay.
takes 4 points of thunder damage.
Design failed, apparently.
Yeah,
They all
I take 8.
fall silent. Yes, you take 8.
Oh,
All the
okay.
chimes fall silent.
Okay. So between 0.75 and 1.25 is half, so we need to actually go to 1.75 and skip over the 1.5. I think.
Well,
So
we can
between
always try it.
Either that or we go straight to the 2 foot.
Or we're missing it entirely. Sound ripples in a wave from the center outwards, and the one that we hit, the 1.25, matched the tone of the 0.75. So what if we go outwards in a ripple and hit both of the ones on the outside each time?
Okay, yeah. We could try that. So we're
Because
gonna
the
hit
sound is going from a center out, and it would grow louder as
Right.
it hit each tone.
Okay.
However,
Yes.
wouldn't it have not worked at the 1.25 if we hadn't hit the half a foot? Are they the same distance from the 3/4 foot one?
Yeah.
Right. So if we're supposed to hit them at the same time, it wouldn't have worked for the 1.25.
I'm not saying we have to hit time. I'm saying at 1 point we still have to go from the center outwards.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll
We
try
probably
it.
could hit them at the same time and it would be fine.
I'm up to try it.
Because we know that
Yeah.
the 7-5 and the 1-2-5 was correct.
Yeah, so
Oh.
let's try the
Fine.
1.25 and 0.5.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start with the two we know, and then we go
Okay.
to the half foot.
You want me to do the half-foot one?
If you have a gust of the winds, deal with that.
hold Actually, hold on. I don't think I do. Prestidigitation uses wind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you make one.
It
Air.
does.
You
Yeah,
will-
yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Prestidigitation, puff of air on the.
So what's the first one you're hitting?
The one we've been starting with.
The 3/4.
3/4.
Okay, start with 3/4.
Yep.
Rings.
One.
Next.
1 foot, 1/4,
It rings.
and then the half foot.
The half foot,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
it rings and lets out another
Yep.
loud,
Yeah.
resonating sound. Make your con saves.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
Alright, cross that one off the list.
Oh my god, this dice is being trashed.
Oh wow.
my
Cool.
fault.
Cool. That's. I don't think I can. Well, hold on. Is the save a 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally cannot fail this.
As
There's
long as you're within,
there's no way for me to fail this.
as long as
Must
you're within
be-
10 feet of
As long as you're
Drax,
within
yes.
him, correct.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm on the same side of the thing as Drakic, so
So
yeah.
my failures take 7 thunder damage. My successors take 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All chimes fall silent.
Okay,
Right. So let's go with what Don said.
try it.
Right.
So which one are you going to hit third then? If we know if we're going with these.
1.75.
Right.
Because there's a half increment between each of those three.
Right.
We might
You're gonna
not.
s- So you're gonna hit 1.75 third.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're literally going middle, 1.25, 1 3/4.
Okay.
Right.
Boom, 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 bang, 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 boom.
God damn it! I don't. How?
Con saves.
There we go.
It might even just be something stupid as we should do it smallest to largest.
But
the
it's
smallest
not
one makes-
smallest to largest.
It's yeah. Right.
We
it's
tried
not.
that.
We
We started with the 0.5. No.
0.25 all the way at the end. You did.
Yeah,
that,
we
didn't you?
started that and that already blasted out, so that's not it.
Right.
Because we've done. Because we know
When
the
did you
0.75.
0.25?
We didn't
Huh?
actually
I-
know.
We haven't
never
done the
started.
0.25. That's what I'm saying.
No.
So
Okay, so
let's try
trying
it.
No,
that
I-
one first.
No.
Didn't Drakic do that when he started all the way from the end?
Yeah,
yes,
I did.
but
Yeah.
But then I blasted through them all, so that I
blasted
wasn't
through-
paying attention.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have the wrong order. Yeah.
But
So,
okay, let's try the 0.25
My
first.
failures.
Yeah.
My failures take 21 points of thunder damage.
Jeebus.
Oh,
My
I have to roll
successors
mine.
take
Hang on.
11 or 10.
10, yeah. Cool.
What did
Okay,
Jeebus?
there we go.
Okay,
We can't keep guessing.
I know.
That's why I'm
So everybody.
eliminating possibilities.
Okay.
Right. So
How about
we
because we're all taking damage? How about everybody out? I can take the most damage. You guys tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
I mean,
you don't have well, you did blow on it. Perhaps that's
Yeah,
what
I can-
roll
I can-
is. You're just gonna hyperventilate.
he's
Phrasing.
also the fastest one of us.
Yeah.
So
Right.
in 6 seconds, she'll cover more ground than we will.
Right.
That is
But
very true.
also, she can only cover so much ground passed out because she's hyperventilating on these damn things.
I have big lungs. I'm a big woman, thank you. I'll be fine.
They're not watermelons, Zahn.
And
All right.
just look.
Drac is gonna sit over by, like, within
Alright,
10
so-
feet of the gazebo. That's- And he just waits.
The words
Zahn,
were.
yeah.
Read the words out again.
Begin with the whisper and then rise to the sky. So let's try the 0.25 and going that way. She'll also make a connection to Doc to give the final, like, so then they can communicate.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Starts with 0.25.
You start with 0.25.
That is the smallest number.
Bing, 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 bing,
0.5.
bing. 0.5. Bing, 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 bing.
0.75.
Bing, 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 bing.
1.25.
As you continue in this order, going from the tiniest chime to the largest chime, you get to the 2 foot, blow on it, all 7 come together in a single bing, 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 and then they all die. You
I would like to
hear
point
the
out we said
sound.
this an hour ago.
Yes.
Mhm.
You hear the sound of stone grinding against stone.
I think it worked.
Drac
not
is currently
dead.
watching the gazebo.
As you watch it, you watch as the final figure.
God damn son. I don't know.
So that's copyrighted.
That is copyrighted, sir.
I don't know.
It's fine. It's not 8 seconds long. I don't think they'll care.
No.
It's a
Drac
demo.
immediately just lets them know the fact that the last one has, last statuette has appeared.
Mhm.
Besides
so,
that, is there any change?
In the wind illusion, all the winds coalesce and they form into a specific shape. If you are proficient in Arcana, make
Yep.
an Arcana check.
Oh yeah.
Drac knows nothing. He just sees wind ball.
Oh, nice. Kristen, again, you have a freaking plus 13.
That's 18 for Doc.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's 18 as well.
All right.
16.
16. The 3 of you look at this and you don't recognize where it would be used, but you can look at it and decipher that its purpose is to propel some sort of wind gust or spell. But it looks incomplete, as if it would be a part of something much larger.
Oh my god, it's an engine for a boat. You could attach to the back of Oh, we should. Fun.
Is the device removable?
No. Do you reach for it?
Doc would be examining it, yes.
As you kind of reach for it, on the back of your hand, where your birthmark is, it begins to light up. And the magic pulls into the birthmark.
That's a new one.
And that's what will end the session.
What? Wait, this is
So anyways, before my players get too tinfoil happy,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We hope you had fun during these joyous puzzles. And all of it off of a D10 roll. So remember, you can always have fun with tables. Until next week, we hope you have fun. We have a great week. Please remember, you are loved. You are worthy. And if you're going to go play some D&D or any tabletop game with your friends, always have your snacks. Good night, everybody.